So we are learning about blending modes. So from blending modes, uh, now we are reaching to lumas. So you know about luma. What is luma? Luminosity. So what is luminosity? The brightness value. Hmm? The exposure, the brightness. That is luminosity. And luma is related to luminosity. So you can relate the word, even luma is coming from luminosity. So what is luminosity? It's actually the gradient of contrast from brightest point to darkest point. That is luminosity. So one thing is, the pixel which is very bright in the shot is luminance level, not about dark. So what luma will do, it control the brightest point and the darkest point. And why we use this brightest and darkest point? Yesterday I asked कि if I want to place a shot in this ink, how I can place? That question was asked actually due to some reason which you told कि let's make the speed of this shot. He will use add layer. So what add layer is doing when I am placing this shot on the blending mode, if I'll use add, let's choose some wider shot. It is. So what this add layer is doing, I'll scale the but it's not removing the whites, it's only using the black values and adjusting the shots. But I also want to remove this white. I want to remove this white and I want to use this ink bleed. So is a way, is there is any blending mode? Still not, we don't know okay, is there is or not, because we know that the subtract group is taking care of darker points and add group is taking care of brighter points, and overlay is doing mix, brightest more brighter and darkest more darker. But yes, there are some other points also. So today we'll discuss about these. That is luma, that is alpha, shell out alpha and shell out luma. So if at any point I want this effect but want to eliminate the brightest point, these are the brightest, okay. So what is the luma between these shots? Let's make it normal. This is the bright and this is the dark. So luma is this black to white. So what we are doing with lumas are, we are increasing the brightest points and we are increasing the darkest point to create a more sharper black and white image. Okay, and then we can eliminate whites or eliminate blacks even in these shots also. First of all, let's see the potential of creating these sharpest black and white. So as soon as I click on this, and let's put this shot on this. Now if I'll go to screen, so it's placing the video behind this. Let's decrease the size of the video. this simply we know till now. So what if I want to eliminate this and use another background at this whitest point, and even in the black I want to use this shot. Okay, sometime these scenarios even you need. So what you have to do is you have to go to composite modes. On the blending there are stencil group is there. Now I click on stencil alpha. So what this stencil alpha is doing, it's delete because there is no alpha in this video. Alpha means the opaque background. If I'll choose text, any built-in text, these are having opaque background, so that is called alpha. There is no backgrounds in that particular shot or at particular clip. Okay, if we'll take a cutout of a person and no background of that and taking that still image, that is as alpha, but this is not alpha. So let's move to stencil luma. So as soon as I move to stencil luma, it eliminated the white, but it's not using this black as a that what I want. I want this shot inside this black. Now let's move to shell out alpha. Still there is no alpha point, so it's not moving. And shell out luma. As soon as I press on luma, so what stencil luma and shell out luma, it's a difference. So what is shell out? In shell outs, one white thing, the brightest thing, is get eliminated, and only the darker values we used to overlay on another clip. That is shell outs. Shell outs means there is a shot. Black and white, and now if I increase the values of white and decrease the shadows, you can see the brighter area and the black area. So what this is creating, this is called shell outs. When a person or a subject is looking black on the brighter backgrounds, that technical term is called shell out shots. If somebody silhouette shots also called to these kind of shots, whichever term you will know. But in compositing mode, this is called shell out. Okay, shell out means the bright background will be bright and the foreground will be on black. Many times the hill shots, the person standing on a cliff, these are all shell out shots. We can use that as shell out shots. Like this, if I'll make it to black and white and I decrease the shadows, you can see now this shot is also treated as a shell out shots. So what in shell outs, there is a brighter point and there is a darker point. So what still out, let's come again to this. So what this shell out luma is saying, it's saying I am guiding this blending mode that there is a brightest point and there is a darkest point, and use darkest point to cut the image of this particular background and delete this all brightest area of this particular shot. Okay, top shot. So as soon as I put on shell out luma, it's deleting all the white values and just using the stencils. Now this is called stencils. Now it's making a stencil, and only that shot is. But what if I want to put another shot behind this shot? Okay, this is not showing yet. So how this shot will get showed? You have to select this clip and then we'll click a new compound clip and we'll press OK. Now you can see two different shots composited on each other. At the time of montages, at the time of advertising, we use these kind of techniques. Even I want to means take a text. Sometimes we are not using transitions, we are using these shell outs to create alpha of the text. Now, how this shot is introduced? Let's say position tool. Let's put this shot here and this shot on above. This shot is moving. As soon as this shot is changing brighter values, I want to introduce this shot. And this is not starting from the point, but if this ink bleed is starting from the 0 point, this will come as a 0 to introduction. And even if I'll click this, I can place this ink bleed at any position. So now even we can use this and try our effects. Let's make some, maybe let's see what will come. We'll use a simple also want to introduce something. Whenever you are using anything, let's say without dissolve, the dissolve will work simple, but as soon as I place any transition on it, the both the layer getting interacted have, but I don't want the lower layer to get affected. So what I have to do is I have to put something before this, because these transition are using the previous shot and the next shot. So what I will do, I'll make one hold frame, okay, and I cut this shot here. I will make the opacity down. So now this is nothing, and I want to start as soon as the brightness change at this point. So I will put this. Now this is nothing. So this will interact as a shot. Wait, let's. Now if I'll put this transition, only this is coming to top layer, not affecting the bottom layer. So this is the hack of using this kind of transition. If you have to put transition on text or any top layer, if it's using the background layer, this is how you can eliminate. Let's see. Now you can see background layer is not getting affected, but which effect I have to put? Let's choose the brush, let's say brush, or I also have ink bleeds. Let's place ink bleed on it. So choosing the right transition also matters. So this is how we can see. So what we used is stencil. The important thing I want to bring attention is that stencil, shell out, lumas. Okay. So same way, this is a shot. Let's say कि I want the outline also at this shot, but this is not having the outlines. Even now I can put shadows. Let's put shadow, and if I'll put shadow on it, you can see now I can put the shadows by putting filters. Compound clips we can put shadows. So whenever if you introduce some text and you want to give shadow, what you have to do is, if that text is the alpha PNG file, what you have to do is you have to make the animation, then make the component clip, and then put this drop shadow on it, and that will come as a drop shadow, because there is no option here to put shadow, so you have to use the filter. Okay, then now we'll use this technique for text. Let's paste here. This time what I want is the text. Let's take a text layer. Let's say eagle. Okay, now let's open this, and you can see the title effect is coming. This is how we even create a montage titles with many different shell outs. We'll pick different kind of these effects, ink bleeds, the brush strokes. We'll pick these kind of black and white images, and we use that as to build the animation of videos. These look more better than using transitions. So if you don't have these kind of, what you can do, you can go to YouTube and search for shell out particles. Okay, shell out effects, brush strokes. You will find many of them, and you can use these. But let's see, it's not using the full text. So what I have to do is I have to make the text small and make this ink bleed bigger, so that it will now, before that shot is not coming from 0 to this, now this is coming. This is the effect. Now let's put this effect on any text. Let's change this text to night, and I will put this text on this. So what it is doing? It is affecting everything. So what I have to do is I have to make compound clip. As soon as I made compound clip, that is for transition. So I'll take this, I'll put here, and now you can see we build a effect. So this is how we create, and still we are not coming to Luma. What we are using is we are using Luma perspectives, and now I will show you how we can build Luma in shots. But first of all, I want to show the potential of creating Lumas. So this is now, if at this point there is another point I want to introduce is I want this text. Let's do it. What I want is I have to go here, click on this text, and first of all let's change the color, make it more, yes, make it more blue, and I also want the outline. Okay, as soon as I click on outline, I can use any outline. Let's at this stage we'll use red, make more blur, make more width, and then if I'll come here, but what I want is I only want to show this text as per outline, not as per this inner color. How I can do that? That is the main perspective. What you think? Are we able to do this? Yes, if I am telling that, definitely you can think yes, we are able to do this. But do you able to recall how we can do this?
We can also apply the general concept.
We can also, yes, I am coming to that. What if we'll put this face color off? If I'll put this face color off, this is the width, blur, and now let's again come here. Okay, so you can do things, and if you want to drop shadow, now if what I'll do, let's make the duplicate copy of this, and what we'll do, we'll bring some blur, we'll overlay some blur, and now you can see some neon effect is coming, and even we'll go to composite modes and use add screen. If I'll put behind this, that will go behind. The more blur, the more brighter value. Multiply? No, because we only need the brightness. Even we can change the color of brightness. How? How we can change the color of this neon overlay? Outline, exactly. So if I'll double click this line, but then go to here, come to outline and change this color to, let's say, green. What will happen? You have to see now. Everything is changing to green, but I don't want this. Then how I can change outer glow to green and inner text to red? Is there is any possibility? No idea? Color wheels. Yes, we can even go to color wheels and we can change the color here, but that is not giving so much of. So what I have to do is, this is how compound clip work. Now we have to see the pattern of using multiple compound clips. I'll see where this compound clip is. What I have to do is I have to edit and duplicate. Okay, now I will use this clip in bottom and copy this effect on this. Okay, now I am going here and clicking this, and let's change and see will it work or not. It is working. So this is how compound clips work. If you just duplicate the compound clip and change inside it, that will change to every clip wherever this compound clip is pasted. So if you don't want this, you have to duplicate the compound clip and then you have to change the text. If I made one text, then I composited that text into compound clip, and now I want to change the text of that compound clip. Let's say every time now if I'll come to this shot, what I want is I want to use this compound clip, but this time I don't want to use this night word. I want this night word to show Boca. But as soon as I click here, that is changing. So what I have to do is, if you create one effect, what you have to do is every time you have to copy it, just make it Command D is the shortcut. Now change this to your next text, Boca, and drag this to your next shot, and now you can even change this, and what we'll do, we'll click this and change it to night, and let's see, this is night and this is Boca. So this is how you have to do multiple texting. One effect, but with a different compound clip you can use with different text. Let's come again back to our stencil part. Now let's just copy this text. Copy, and I want edit paste as connected clip, so that is pasting here. So now let's come to simple text. I'll make it white, and now let's change the text to flag, make the size bigger, make it down. Okay, now again we'll come to this composite mode, and this time if I'll use shell out Luma, this is not doing anything. Why? Because the text is on white, not black. Okay, so shell out Luma is always working on blacks. First of all, let's change and try the text on black. Okay, now we changed the color to black. Still there is nothing. Why? Because there is alpha. Because there is alpha in this channel. Okay, and as soon as I put alpha, so what we have to use is stencil before we are using shell out. Shell out is two different values, one is white and one is black, and stencil is a alpha channel having something in it. Let's say I have a alpha channel. If I found something or I'll able to cut something, uh, let's say I'll cut this short. Okay, I'll cut this short. How I will cut this short? I'll go to mask. I'll drop this draw mask and I cut this short, make it feather, and now let's put this shot on this. Okay, so what is this? This is cutout. Now let's come to blending mode and use shell out Luma. This is just overlaying the black, the darkest value. Shell out alpha, it is just overlaying the shape. But what if I'll put stencil Luma? Now what it's doing, it's taking the shape of that and overlaying on that particular shot. So even not we have to find these kind of effects, we can even use shots to create some different kind of effects. This is how even in web series they are using, this is what they are using. They are combining shots with stencils and overlaying color and creating backgrounds with all the montages and all. This is how we create. The concept behind those montages is this only. And then with the thought process, what you want to create, you will create a montage kind of thing. Some shots coming like this, then you will overlay some red colors, then you will put some adjustment layer on it, making a background, making it compound clip, changing these black to different values. You know, this is how we build the shot. Okay, so let's click on stencils alpha. So now everything of outside this shape is cutted down in this shot. If I'll change the shape of this draw mask, you can even change the shape of this video. So now what we are doing is we are using this draw mask shape on any shot and just making the stencil alpha blending mode to make it more dynamic cutouts. Some why we are making, sometime we'll put mask some video and we'll overlay it with stencil. I will show you the examples when we'll do some montages and all, but you have to see the concept right now. The concept is we can even cut the videos by draw mask tool and using stencil alpha. Even we are changing, we are cutting the video with text, we are cutting the videos with draw mask, and we are cutting the video with shell outs, and even we are cutting the video with, let's say now with Luma. Now I am cutting to Luma. Let's come to key. So if I'll come to in filter in keys, there is a Luma keyer in it. Now I am coming to main point, how we use Luma and how we combine with these stencils with all blending modes. Let's say this is the shot. I'll put Luma key in it. As soon as I put Luma key into the video, I have to come to video inspector. In video inspector you will see the Luma Keyer filter in it. On the top it's the brighter values, on the bottom it's the darker values. If I'll drag, you can see darker values going darker. If I'll move this, the brighter values are going brighter. Okay, so the difference between the brightness and dark, what we are creating is, we are creating, if I'll come to this, you can see what we are doing is we are creating a black and white, black, darkest black and brightest white image. And why, what use we can do with these? We can use stencils and shellouts alpha to create more dynamic images. Okay, let's say this is the alpha part, this is the original image, and these will, the black values will get cut out. So if at any point I don't want to cut out these, which part I have to use is invert. Now you can see in the same shot we cutted the white, the skies, and let's put this shot at this sky, let's say. So this is how we can replace the skies, and I don't want this to cut more. So what I can do is I'll go to mask and I'll make a duplicate. Okay, and on the top so what I did is I inverted the draw mask because I drawed it up, so I just inverted it and we replaced the sky. So what values we are using? We are using the brighter and darker values. So, so let's come to another shot which we just used. This is the another shot. Let's delete this color correction from it and come again back to Luma key and Luma key. If I'll put this Luma key, now you can see the darker values are going darker. Now if at this particular point I'll use this shot, let's say I'll put this shot, okay, and now if I'll go back, I used the black and white, so now you can see even now we are using the mattes. And if I'll double click it, just copy this clip and paste it again, and I will paste this up and make the Luma key out. Okay, now what we are doing is we cut out that girl from the background, and if I'll make composite compound clip, now you can see the girl is overlaying on that shot. Why? Because this mat we are using to cut out this girl. So this is introducing another way of cutting out the shots. Even sometimes we cut out the buildings. How we cut out? We'll use the draw mask tool, the Luma tool, and we'll create a shell outs. And then we'll use stencil alpha or stencil Luma or shell out alpha and shell out Luma to make it cut out from the shot. And then with color grading and all, we'll composite that shot on the another layer. Where to use, when to use, it's all depend on the idea or concept you want to create. And this, by this we also coming to the another point, that is key, color key. Just to introduce this thing, this is the green screen. So whenever we are shooting some green screens to cut the person or Luma to make a stencil and to overlay that thing on the previous shot. Okay, for that it's a dedicated tool. Inside keying is the color key, means keyer. So what this is doing, even if I'll select this shot, I'll take my cursor to this, it's cutting out everything expecting one color and making a stencils. Let's type one text, green. Face, I want to use green. And no stencil at this stage, the normal green. Okay, so what we are doing is we are just taking a green color, and if this color is present in this shot, as soon as I put color key, we can even cut down that key. And this is not in this class, it's a totally dedicated class on keyer, color key, how we use, how we refine, how we use stencil alpha with Luma key to cut out the green screens, how we refine the edges, how we do each and everything. So that I will show you in the next class, which actually has to come on today, but as I took the off, so it's coming on Monday. Okay, so Monday will be the total full class on green screens. Luma, you know, stencils, you know, blendings, you know, and this all will help us to even cut out the green screens, even in complex situations. Okay, that video which you showed, Sahil, okay, is it cut out or not? That will get cut out actually if you know the proper scenarios of blendings, lumas, masking, as well as green screen. To combine all this, we can even cut out that complex part too. You can even think ki if that part is coming, what we can do is we can create shell outs and we'll cut that shell out with the previous shot. You can imagine now, na? We'll even do that one too. Okay, share that video with me today. So this is all about, in next class we'll do about greens. So just a simple example, if I'll put this in green, so the green is getting cut out, the simple and the easiest way. So why we use green screens, why we use these, I will let you know in the next class. So what is the importance of green screens? So this is all about Luma. So now you can see there are subtract group, add group, overlay group, and the stencils group. Stencils are for black and white cutouts. Choose the color which I want to change at which, and then I'll click a color picker and find that color. Okay, let's choose some brighter values. Now I overlay this clip to here. As soon as I click on color burn, what this will do, it will burn this color with the shadows of previous shot. Okay, so how strong and how bright I want to use, and the color dodge will do the opposite of this. So what we are doing is we are enhancing the shots. Whatever shot, let's say this is the shot, I'll cut this. We are just enhancing the shot. At this stage I don't want this color. What color I want is this particular pixel. So what color is doing, we are adding the color to highlights or adding the color to shadows. As soon as I click on, that is adding the color to. Now if I'll use multiply, darken, no work, color dodge will add the color to shadows, and then color burn. Color burn is cutting that color and mixing that color with shadows. I'll just increase. Now you can see that color is mixed here. Where? In the shadow area. So this is actually to create the environment. If we want, I have a text here and it is glowing and I want that glow to become on the previous layer. As soon as the color will glow, I will add this layer, increase the opacity, and then decrease the opacity. So this will create a glow effect. Means the color is giving the shadows that color. That if the shot is highlighting and I want to put these color in my text, now you know how you can do it. Okay, now this is the point where this effect is coming. So I'll put this shot. Let's off this. And now I'll put blur. This is the point where this flash happens. That flash, we have to match this flash with this flash. So instant coming and dissolving it out. Same effect is coming to that title. So multiple time it's coming, so multiple time we have to put. When I want to create, then I cannot explain at that particular time, but you can see what all I did is I used blur, overlay color dodge to create that color, and even with the blending modes add and all will created this glow effect, and then we matched with the, and as many time as it will flash we can even overlay this color. Let's say it's coming again, we'll put this one here again. So this is how we can create effects. So this will create the title that is involving in the environment. What I can do is I'll take these, so what I am doing is I'm using blending modes, multi-layers, colors, overlays, chill outs. So everything I'm putting to create the effect I want to create. So whenever you are seeing some compositing text, this is how they do with these blending modes and color combinations. Very subtle amount of overlay this is creating a more dynamic image. Just putting us this text, just offing this up and putting this up, you can see very small little effect, but it's creating more dynamic. So this is how we use multiple layers and blending modes to make more realistic kind of effects. So more you practice, more you learn, more you place the shots, more you will get.